What if I told you that every building is like a human body? While a human body has a heart, what does a building have? That is what we will explore together today. My journey in interiors did not start in an interior design studio or a course. It started in a half-built house, and that house belonged to me. I remember standing in that unfinished space, beautiful renders on the wall, all the finishes proposed were expensive, but everything looked like it was out of a magazine. Design fails the minute it stops resonating with the people using it or implementing it in their spaces. At the age of 34, I enrolled myself into an interior design course. The funny part is that the people studying with me were half my age and the teachers were younger than me. It was humbling, terrifying, and liberating all at the same time. I want you all to close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself inside a building, any building. You hear the quiet hum. You feel the walls surrounding you. You even feel the air that holds its breath. These walls hold secrets about you, not metaphorical ones, the real ones. They determine how well you will sleep. They determine the anxiety levels. They also control the kind of connection you will have with the person sitting next to you. You don't notice them because it's a silent algorithm. But the impact, it's happening to your body, to your brain, and your emotions every second that you're in that space. Now, what if I told you that every building is like a human body? While a human body has a heart, what does a building have? That is what we will explore together today. Hi, I'm Leena Monga, founder and principal designer at Agnom Designs. My journey in interiors did not start in an interior design studio or a course. It started in a half-built house, and that house belonged to me. I remember standing in that unfinished space, beautiful renders on the wall, all the finishes proposed were expensive, but everything looked like it was out of a magazine. What was not adding up was I did not feel that it belonged to me. It was like walking into a stranger's apartment and feeling that your name was outside the door. Design fails the minute it stops resonating with the people using it or implementing it in their spaces. So I did something reckless. I redesigned it myself with no training or degree, and just by intuition, piece by piece. I built a home that was ours and that was mine. While doing this, I did not just reclaim my house, I reclaimed myself. That moment changed everything for me. I left fashion design, which I studied during graduation years. After 10 years of being a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids, at the age of 34, I enrolled myself into an interior design course. The funny part is that the people studying with me were half my age, and the teachers were younger than me. It was humbling, terrifying, and liberating all at the same time. What I came to realize in this course was decoration is not translation. It is translation of human memories, emotions, and the people living inside them. Soon after my course, I founded Agnom. Not just a studio, but a belief that we would not just design walls and ceilings, but we will design the invisible DNA of the spaces that make them feel alive like the people living in them and using them. Each one unique and unclonable. When I passed 10th grade, I left a few subjects, thinking I'll never have to look at them again or study them again, without realizing that years later, they will come back and become the plinth of my career. Now let's dive into the science and psychology behind spaces. In 1984, when I was born, there was a woman back in US called Anna, 47 years old. She was recovering from a gallbladder surgery. She was taken to a room with sage green walls and a big window. with greens outside and sunlight pouring in. However, she did not know that at that time she was a part of a clinical experiment, an experiment that was done by Roger Ulrich. What they discovered from the experiment was that the people in similar rooms as Anna were recovering faster, were having less medication, and were leaving the hospital sooner, as opposed to the ones kept in those white clinical rooms with sterile atmosphere. This was designed speeding up biology. That one subject I left in grade 10. Now let's jump to another example. A 27-year-old Ria had just got onto a new job and wanted to call her friends over. She had everything in place, drinks, food, music. But everybody came to the party and left early. Now, who was the culprit here? Was it the living room? No. It was a rigid, white, wide sofa kept facing the TV. She later stumbled upon a study which was done by Sally Augustine, she's a psychologist, which proved that curves spark conversations. A circular sofa will engage people in conversations more than a straight sofa. Now, this is the impact of space planning on interactions and hence our psychology. Now you understand why Parliament has a circular seating arrangement as it sparks conversations. The third example I'll give you is something we've all experienced. We walk into a fast food restaurant and we are welcomed by these upright chairs designed for discomfort. The idea is to optimize profits. They want you to come in, eat and go, and make space for the next ones to come in. On the other hand, the fine dining restaurants invite you with plush chairs, dim lighting, and beautiful tableware. The tables are placed so wide apart that if there is a matter of national defense or emergency being discussed at one of the tables, you would never know on the other table. And those white tablecloths, they silently tell you if you spill anything, you're being judged. Now, this is what even a choice of furniture can do to your psychology. Now, let's look at the impact of good and bad lighting on our lives. Did you know that lighting is our body's remote control? It tunes the circadian rhythm in our body, which in turn regulates our hormones, sleep, wake cycle, and even the energy levels. And I did not need a study to tell me that. Some years back, I hired an apartment in New York. And that was the time when I realized that I had a room which had a small window. In the morning, it felt as if I was inside a cave. And at night, there was a tube light which was so harsh that it felt like my bed was placed next to Times Square. And every time I would wake up irritated and groggy. My body was telling me that I'm in New York, while the room was telling me I'm still in India. Trying to fight my sleep every day and repenting every minute of taking up that apartment. Now, this is the impact of lighting on your life and how it plays with you. Your life isn't a story that is written in words. It is important to understand the role of a designer. Your stories are written in rooms. The funny part is that you've never met these people who've designed the first crib or the first dorm room you've spent your college years in, or even the kitchen where your mom cooks the meal. And they all shape you in a manner you cannot even imagine. They make you for who you are today. We have all heard of this word called biophilia. We've been hearing it over and over again, and everyone's talking about it. But why is it that now everyone's talking about it? Now let's go back a few years and look at pandemic. We guys were inside our four walls, and that was the time when we realized that we had a longing to go out. We wanted more sun, we wanted more greens. And that was the time when everybody realized that we wanted more greens indoors rather than just seeing them outdoors. And that was the birth of biophilia and biophilic design inside the interiors. We all wanted an osmosis where the outdoors felt like a part of indoors. And not just greens, it was also to do with sunlight. We have all seen that reel going viral about sunroof. Why has it become viral? Again, because it was strategically placed after pandemic. We all wanted more sunlight in our houses, and we realized that we had no sunroofs. And we understood the impact of sunlight on wellness. And that was when everybody started running after it. We have talked about design and its impact on us. Now let's understand the role of a designer. Your life isn't a story written in words, it's written in rooms. Your first crib, the kitchen where your mom cooks the food, and the dorm room you stayed in during your college years. They all shape you in ways you can more than imagine. The funny part is that all of this has been designed by someone you've never met. But they are the silent ghostwriters of our story, our emotions, and our memories. So are we scientists trying to fuse neuroscience into design? Are we therapists decoding unspoken needs? Or are we mothers trying to handhold our clients in filtering out their thoughts and making memories and building their spaces that look and feel like them? People ask me, was it hard to start over at 34? Yes, it was, with a lot of responsibilities and mother guilt. But it would have been harder if I never tried at all. I chose not to be an artist splashing my vision on someone else's walls. I choose to be like water. It doesn't demand, it fills what's empty. And when taken away, the vessel feels soulless. This is what I became for my clients. Not decoration, but presence. Not walls, but soul. This is Leena Monga, Principal Designer at Agnom Designs, signing off.